Do a clap in. He already knows the deal. Andre, how you doing?
Hey, how are you? Nice to meet you, Sebastian.
Yes, so we met last night in Miami. I came in for Miami Music Week, and you were out with Joe, and I struck up a conversation with Joe because he was asking me about my camera and was the specs of it.
Right.
And then one thing led to another. He led me about how you guys came from New York and started to build a company here. So tell me about your company. What's the name of it?
The name of the company is called Blockchain of Things.
Blockchain of Things. Okay.
And it's a software company.
Okay.
And it helps other corporations and developers and people who like to tinker with building applications to be able to connect and take advantage of the global Bitcoin blockchain. So it's an application development layer on the global Bitcoin blockchain.
Okay. Now, how does that integrate with, because a lot of creators right now are taking over the NFT space. How does your company kind of involve yourselves in that?
Well, that's interesting because a lot of people today, well, the new people who get into the NFT space believe that NFTs surged and became popular with the Ethereum blockchain. And in actuality, the first NFTs were on the Bitcoin blockchain. So our company has its own token protocol that we do non-fungible and fungible tokens. And so you can create these NFTs, these non-fungible tokens on our platform also. So it's you can think of it as competitive, although in our scenario, what we tend to focus on are these fungible and non-fungible tokens more for industrial purposes and use, but artists can use them and anyone can use them.
So give me an example of how that might be used in an industrial setting.
Well, think of a way to enable hardware, right? So we understand software as a service today because we all go to a website and we pay monthly for a service that's been given to us via software. But we don't, years ago, that didn't happen. We would download software. We would pay either an annual license or a one-time license until we had to upgrade. Well, imagine you could do that with hardware. So imagine you could build a little piece of program in a microprocessor. Maybe it's an X-ray machine or it's some type of industrial machine, and that machine only functions for 30 days, and then it needs to receive another update token, right? So in the form of a payment, almost like a Chuck E. Cheese coin, right? But now this is happening at an industrial scale because you can record when it was sent, when it was received, when it was recorded. So it gives you a lot of track and trace capabilities, right? At the industrial level, or you can map an NFT to pharmaceuticals and goods and things of that nature.
Really? Okay. Now, what's the benefit of using that over normal currency? Or the currency that we've been accustomed to up to this point?
Well, that's a big difference, right? That's the innovation that Bitcoin has brought to the table, and that's programmable money. Today, with your standard fiat currency, you don't have these capabilities. You don't have the capability of creating a digital unit that could be now sent from peer to peer, right? The most we had before Bitcoin was a central authority, such as a PayPal, which all they do is control a central database, and it debits my account and credits your account when I send you some money. Right, but it doesn't give you the nuancical functionality of non-fungible tokens, for instance, or to do all the clever things that we're talking about doing in today's blockchain space.
It kind of speeds up the process of a lot of things as well, too.
Yes, and it's traceable, right? So you don't have to trust what happened or what occurred. So it's all recordable on an immutable ledger, as opposed to trusting a company that can delete a record, delete a profile, and manipulate the information that occurs. And I think that that's very important. And it's important in a lot of different industries, from clinical trials to something as simple as, hey, I don't know you. You live maybe in Latin America or Africa, and I don't know if I'm trusting that you're doing what you're telling me you're doing.
This ensures that.
Right.
That's what's up. Now, how did you see an opportunity for you to build a company within the space?
Well, I got involved in Bitcoin early on. Before I got involved in the space, I was working for Citigroup as a technologist, and I was setting up technology teams, both in New York, in the Wall Street area, and in Hyderabad, India. And I was involved in the 2008-2009 housing collapse, where Wall Street was shaken up a little bit.
Okay.
And after that, I sort of caught wind of Bitcoin. There wasn't much on the internet. You had to really, really dig hard a little bit after 2009 to find information. By 2011, I had bumped into one or two guys who are now my friend in the industry that opened my eyes up to what was going on. And I, as a technologist, so I'm an academically trained comp sci guy, I started doing deeper and deeper research, and I said, well, this is the future. And it got me really, really excited. And it got me excited most when I realized that we had this atomic unit functionality, what we call a token today.
All things blockchain, or what is the company? I'm sorry.
Blockchain of things.
Blockchain of things.
Yes. So
where'd that originate from, the name?
Well, you know, the Internet of Things was really popular, the name at the time. And I thought to myself, and I knew that we could do everything on the Bitcoin blockchain.
Okay.
We could build applications, things that people call smart contracts these days, and we can do them in a more robust way.
Yeah.
Now, doing it on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's written in C++, a very terse language. It doesn't have a lot of functionality to do this. It's really meant as a value exchange mechanism. Would take a lot of time in building layers on top of it. But I'm a child of the inception of the internet, meaning that I watched the internet grow, right? And I saw many parallels of how the internet grew and how the whole blockchain cryptocurrency field is growing, right? There was a time, we may not all remember, that intranets were the rage. AOL, right? CompuServe. I mean, AOL was a tiny technology company, and Wall Street gave it enough money to buy Time Warner. But where is AOL today? I had a buddy. He was building a intranet for models. I had another one who was building intranet for recruiters. Where are they now? You would build them on the internet.
Right. That
and
would be like a Facebook group or something.
Right.
In retrospect.
Right, exactly. So I think that that's the evolution. The evolution is eventually there'll be one major global chain, right, that we will all rely on. I believe that will be Bitcoin. And I established the company to prove to the world that you don't need the likes of Ethereum and Polkadot and other chains to accomplish what these special purpose chains were built to accomplish. Right? And it's the reason why at Blockchain of Things, we believe that the proof is in the pudding, right? So what does that mean?
Please.
And today, any of your viewers, if they'd like, can go to blockchainofthings.com and get a free account. And in that free account, they could use the full-blown power of our 2nd-Layer technology. It's exposed as an easy-to-use web services API, right? And it runs on a parallel network called testnet, right? But testnet is a duplicate of the Bitcoin mainnet. So what happens is developers build on Bitcoin, launch it on testnet to test it, and then move it to the mainnet. Now this account's on testnet, but it has a full-blown power of the product. And because of that, you could go play with it and see that, you know, there's no bullshit in what we release.
I like that. Now, so who's specifically is your company made for? If I'm someone who's just getting into the space of crypto, what can I take away, or what is that going to add to my NFT projects, to my portfolio? Tell me the benefit of that. Okay, so great. So when we first started the company, we were supposed to be a strict API layer targeting, Fortune 500 companies. And then I started to realize that we should give the world
the flexibility and ability to play with the platform. So we started integrating into what today is known as LowCode Tools.
Okay.
So if you go to Blockchain of Things and you get an account, today you have a whole interface with drag and drop that you can start building and assembling prototypes and things of that nature, even if you don't know how to develop it, you don't know how to code.
Yeah.
Now, you might hit a ledge and say, well, I need more flexibility and I need a developer who understands a little bit more.
Yeah.
But we can get you 80 to 90% of the way there.
Yeah.
Cost free.
Yeah.
You know, and easy to use.
Yeah.
And we've been building more and more and more of these things. For instance, we're a few days away from Bitcoin 2022 here in Miami, the largest Bitcoin conference in the world.
Yes.
And we're announcing Catenis blocks. And Catenis blocks is little pre-built apps that do most of the functionality of our APIs that just pop into WordPress, which is the world's most popular content management system tool in the world. And they say, I think, about 42% of all sites use WordPress these days. I think I looked at the statistic a couple of days back because I helped write up the announcement.
Okay.
So now anyone who doesn't even know how to code can use these Catenis blocks that pop into your website. So we're trying to lower the bar. It's our first version, and we'll have more, and we'll enhance them with functionality.
Yeah.
But we're getting there. So we're trying to lower the bar to individuals who aren't developers, who don't have development teams in large corporations, so they can get the exposure of the power of what it is to use the most renowned blockchain with a global footprint that protects trillions of dollars of people's money.
Hell yeah, it's going to make a big impact for people that haven't yet known that this is a space they want to create, and you're the guys that are saying, we're going to walk you through this and we're going to help you figure it out.
Exactly. So we're trying to make it easier and easier. And I think that's our progression. We've taken the first few steps with Catenis Flow, which is a drag and drop builder.
Okay.
And now Catenis blocks, which are pre-built, they're called Gutenberg blocks in WordPress. They're pre-built Gutenberg blocks. And we released it with 10 of them, right? And we're going to keep enhancing it as we go forward.
Okay. That's exciting news. Is there any trends that you're kind of seeing as we shift out of this pandemic that's happening within the blockchain, or, kind of going into this summer? What are some shifts in the market that you can kind of prepare or see to happen within crypto?
Interesting, because we've been seeing an uptick of large company prospects come to us with a greater interest. A lot of the companies initially have done proof of concepts and prototypes in using something that's called DLTs, or private blockchains. Okay. And DLTs are sort of an implementation. They're called distributed ledgers. These distributed ledgers are an implementation between what a blockchain is and what a database is, right? Somewhere in the middle. But they're closed-loop networks like intranets.
Is a blockchain more of the railroad, while the database is like the library?
Yeah, but blockchains aren't databases in themselves. Okay. So what corporations initially needed was the ability to encrypt and permission. And blockchains such as Bitcoin and Ethereum are transparent, right? Anyone can use them, right? They're globally decentralized. But for a corporation, there's certain amounts of information that they need to keep proprietary. So they couldn't use what we call public blockchains, right? Bitcoin and Ethereum. So they gravitated towards these DLTs, or they got copies of something like Ethereum and made them private. Thus creating an intranet. Yes. The analogy of the intranet that I gave prior with AOL. Okay. Well, that's when I started to realize early on in 2013, 2014, that a permissioned layer with encryption, right, was needed. And I started to build it in 2013, prototypes of what would become the product today. The name of the product is called Catenis. Okay. Blockchain of Things is the company. Okay. So Catenis is a second layer technology, and I recall at the time in New York, friends of mine turning to me and saying, "Andre, you're crazy. why would you ever build a second layer technology? Like, you know, what are you thinking? And I turned to them, I said, what do you guys mean? I'm an engineer.
Yeah.
That's how we built the internet. What are you guys talking about? And they're like, just launch your own blockchain. Maybe it would have been more profitable for me had I launched my own blockchain.
Yeah.
But today, you can't come across any article online where they're not talking about second layer technology.
Yeah.
Polygon, second layer technology for Ethereum. Second layer technologies abound for Bitcoin now. The hottest thing is the Lightning Network, which is second layer technology on Bitcoin for value transference, right? So I was building a second layer technology before the term Lightning Network was muttered.
Because you could see how big it was going to get, and you're like, oh, this is what it's going to need next?
Exactly.
Okay.
Right? So the platform adds what it doesn't have.
Yeah.
What companies want, users want. Permissioning, encryption.
Yeah.
So it takes a public blockchain that everyone can monitor and audit, and it adds a lot of the cool features that you would need in a robust application, right?
Right.
So if you even build a website, you might want a permission section. Maybe 80% of your website is transparent, like the blockchain. But maybe you want a little permission section. Maybe you want the ability to encrypt some files for protection.
Yeah.
And that's what we bring to the table, which is also why corporations gravitated to private blockchains and distributed ledgers.
I see that intertwining with also if you're trying to create like a society maybe within your NFT project where it's like only people with this NFT can be a part of this section.
Exactly.
Of
right.
And it lives on the blockchain as well where your NFT also lives.
Right. And they're already doing that with NFT Authentication. Right. What we have goes beyond that.
Yeah.
Our NFTs can be encrypted. Right. Today, you go and you get your GIF that's stored in a distributed file system. Typically, it's IPFS.
Yes.
And it's a GIF anyone can download.
Yeah.
So how about if I turn to you and you say, come to my platform, create an NFT, and any of its data or even metadata can be encrypted. And you know who can decrypt it? The owner of the NFT. Right? That gives you additional flexibility.
That works best in like a raffle situation, right? Or a mystery.
Raffles, mystery, or a piece of art that you don't want anyone duplicating.
Oh, okay.
Right? So today, people sells a piece of art in the tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Anyone can right-click and duplicate it.
Yeah.
Right? And what people's really selling is, hey, the right that, you were the first one to really own it, right?
Yeah, the one of one, you own it.
How about if you had both? If you had that and the ability for people not to steal it, right?
Yeah.
So we're changing the game a little bit. We're changing the game on how people look at Ethereum and secondary blockchains to Bitcoin. We're changing the game on how NFTs function. So we're in a very creative space. A lot of people don't know we exist. So although I've been building it, I've been building it since 2014, incorporated blockchain of things in 2015. It's 2022, and this is when we're starting to do our major push and launch for the world to know who we are and what the product is. So developing good software takes time.
Yeah. And is that why you chose Miami as the new home? Is this kind of the blockchain hub, crypto hub?
Exactly. So right I've been noticing a big shift, right? So I believe that the center of the world for blockchain and crypto technology was New York, and a spattering of it in California. The shift has been taking place to Austin and Miami. And Miami has started to dominate the space because a lot of the OG guys that are coming from New York and California, and they're concentrating in these two places, right? Austin. So, for instance, my next 4 conferences are either in Miami or Austin, right? So it's just a natural shift.
Are we going to see you speak at any of these?
Possibly.
Okay.
I won't be speaking at Bitcoin 2022.
Okay.
Because I'm going to be manning the booth myself. I want to get a feel of how things go. I'm very hands-on in everything from the software development to the product and how things work, and I want to get a feel of people's reactions to what we have.
Awesome. That's awesome. Well, I'm excited for you and your team, brother.
Thank you so much, Sebastian.
You filled my cup today, and I'm excited to keep growing in the space as well and learning from people with you out here. So thank you for taking the time. Appreciate you, Andre.
Thank you.
Where can people learn more about your company? Websites, links, call to action?
So the best place to go is to blockchainofthings.com.
Okay.
Or they can follow us on Twitter at blockchainOT. So that's blockchain O and T.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Thank you so much.
This has been the With Purpose podcast. Thank you all for tuning in.
Thank you.